We are in Chiapas province now, and we are going into this canyon of Sumidero in a boat.
To recognize them when they are flying, their point feathers are white. They are studies when one of these birds is older than most of the in front of us, on the middle of this mountain, of this wall, there are some stalactitas. Especially there is one that seems an hippocampus. Look, now that we are stopped, that there are cactus. Unfortunately, the number of people that they live up of the hills every year is growing up, and the rivers that they used to arrive to this river, they don't arrive 900 meters high. And into this river, according with the history, is where a group of indigenes named Chiapas, that's why the name of the state, they decide to suicide at the 16th century before they jump into this river. The name of the river is Grijalba. This river ends in the Gulf of Mexico. But as the river is born in this state, we gave, and in this state is where the Indians, they suicide, we gave the name of Chiapas. Until they made a dam, today we can enjoy the river. When it rains a lot often, and after the rainy season, the level of the water you can see in front of us is... ¿Sí llevan abuelos más viejos?
Sí, hermano.
¿Todo allá?
Más se la pasa ahí por donde está la basura. En las mañanas se ve más. Casi no sale afuera, no son de novedad. Órale. De repente se ve afuera.
How far down here is it?
In the curve, but from up is where these Chiapas jump. Up there, there is a plaque and things like that. But the highest point is this one on the left.
Pelicans.
Look up here. Look at that. You see closer, we can appreciate the water. But it's not too much. It's a little. How you call when the water is this?
Look at purple flowers in it growing here. Purple flowers.
Not from rock that we get different purple flags.
Today we are in San Cristobal de las Casas, and this is our Holiday Inn hotel. It's about 7,000 to 8,000 feet altitude, and it is quite cold. This is the market, local market of San Cristobal. Bird of paradise, but I can't see the bee.
No, the bee.
We will see tomorrow Palenque, just to have an idea. How is it so poor? Remember the first day when we arrived here, I told you the day before yesterday that Chiapas used to belong to Guatemala. In the last years of fight for the independence, Guatemala, Belize didn't exist yet. Guatemala, Salvador, Honduras, Nicaragua, Panama, Costa Rica, they joined Mexico, and the promise was to create a big federation of Central America's countries. In those years, Mexico used to be considered Central America, participate in this independence war. It was too far from here. The closer battles, they were by Acapulco, in Guerrero. But imagine still, after Acapulco we have Oaxaca state, and after Oaxaca we still Chiapas. So it was too far. These countries, Guatemala, Salvador, Nicaragua, etc., they said, no, that was not the original idea. We want to be part of a federation. We want to have one independence, each state from the other, but we don't want to be part of a monarchy. Then they separate. Then I said, here in Chiapas, some rich families, they decide to ask to the population in a very strange election or decision. We know that these were manipulated in Mexico. And at the same time, the inhabitants of Chiapas, they don't want to be part of Guatemala. There was not a war to get independence, it was a decision. But not only Guatemala lost this portion, also another portion from Guatemala, but from the east side, became part of Salvador. So I think they better thought, we better be part of Mexico, biggest country, at least we are part of a biggest confederation. And in case that they wanna cut Chiapas in two parts, they have to fight hardest against all the confederation. The Indians, the indigenous, always they were on the mountains. On the days of the markets, they used to come here to sell And some indigenous, they learned how to live in this town of San Cristobal, used to be the capital. The name of this new society among Spaniards, free, mestizos, and indigens is named Coletos. Super rich. They were the owners of the 10% of everything. 10 in Spanish is 10. In the Catholic religion, the word diezmo means the 10% of a coin. But they were not only owners of the coins, 10% of everything. If Jose has 30 cows, and they produce, of course, milk, the 10% of the money made from the milk belongs to the church. Now, if I have 50 what chicken and they produce eggs, the 10% belongs to the church. Was not part of this land affected. If Anna, working hard, she rescued a little part of production, the 10% of this production saved belongs to the church. So the church never lost by their products. The rich families, they were so good because they have maize and many other products. Everybody's happy. The central government in Mexico City is too far. There are not roads to communicate. There is a man may not drink no more alcohol, but was not easy for him because he was already sick later. So, I was from here. This is the Pan American Road continuation. This Pan American Road crosses from South America to North America, all the continent. It is only interrupt, never visit Chiapas, and this curious because Chiapas is the reason why a lot of travelers they came to this country. In the 17th centuries, before the Independence War, reporters of the Spaniards that they made the conquest of this land, Pedro de Alvarado and all those, they mentioned how some indigenous groups, Maya groups, back with double A. Then Capitan Ordóñez and this Catholic priest with some people, they organized a trip from Guatemala, Antigua, on direction of what today we call Palenque. Ejército Zapatista de Liberación Nacional, EZLN. In San Cristóbal de las Casas, in one of these Coletos family, and this boy had at home several indigenous that they used to work as a personal service in that house, in the United Kingdom, when he was a young man. He made all the elementary school and secondary school in San Cristobal, the high school. He made it in Tuxtla Gutierrez, but the university, he made it in Mexico City. Sent him to study on England. He was living there, it seems, by 2 years. Spain. On Spain, he used to work. I'm not sure if it is like Harrods. To be manager, it means that he was good. Opens the shop as feed around 18 years ago. 19 years ago, more or less. Then, being in Mexico, that they had participated in some rebellions in Mexico. It's a weapon. In Mexico, as he spoke the language of the local men, leaders of these indigenous, some authorities, and with the help of some intellectuals, and to educate them into the paramilitary or military life. This is not official, but it seems that military trainers from Salvador, Nicaragua, and Cuba, they came to Mexico, and in one area that is known as Montes Azules, Blue Mountains, which is exactly in front of us, a little to the right, where the clouds are. Well, the color changed with the distance, no? That's why we call that area Montañas Azules, Blue Mountains. In that area, that is also part of an biosphere reservation, the intelligence department of the country, of the state, they knew about the arrival of weapons. Some others from Salvador. In those years, Salvador to the United States, small canyons, those for sierras, for mountains, not those bigger. And they were some of those used in Afghanistan and the other wars, the Gulf, the Persian War, etc. And they arrived to Mexico. Sub-Commander Marcos, Marcos. That's a name of a man. But the meaning of his name were also the first letter of the different villages that they start to participate in this rebellion. M from Margaritas, A from Agusingo, R from Romero, C from Constitution Town, O like Ocosingo, and like this, S as San Cristobal, Marcos. Many indigenous, they start the rebellion, but I was here like 1 month before the rebellion started. It was December. It was the last trip that I had to Chiapas in that year, and that was 13 years ago in December. The 1st of January of 12 years ago officially starts one market between Canada, United States, and Mexico, new as NAFTA, is that we have passed. They took modern weapons with guerrilla tactics, fighting different places, and then they took weapons and they attacked San Cristobal de las Casas. Places in the world. And in Mexico, the Zapatistas, they are still so popular, especially among the young people from the universities. 6 or less years ago, there was what we named the Zappa Tour. Marcos, without guns, and many of all these indigenous, they organized a big protestation against the new state to push them to do what they promised to do. And this political, well, his name was used several times. And these Zapatistas, they took his name. And what happened after this seems that for the next elections in 3 years more, the EZLN is going to be a new political party.
The rhythm is problemas. No podía cantar. Pero hoy te la cambió, compadre. Llegó una chilena. Se hizo hispana.
Yes. Oh, similar to the bill was in stages.
The Wayside restaurant on way to Palenque.
Y durante 8 horas para que descanses tú y los que te rodean.
They grow coffee in Chiapas. Here's a mango.
And Marcos is painted on the left side. I told you, Ocosingo is part of the big capitals. Then the big cities, they were abandoned. And it seems that some groups, they moved to the south of it. Some of these groups, the new capitals from this area of Chiapas and Guatemala is named Uxmal. Extraordinary city, because this is the Maya culture after they abandoned all this nature, the cars, coaches, and they do it sometimes for a long time or sometimes like a surprise. It depends on the intelligence information that
a few years ago, they used to use only the dress.
Yes. It's a bit complicated.
Oh. Sí, carnal.
Por lo menos con tres. Por lo menos con tres.
Oh, I should think so. It's vegetables, it's very hot. So it's safe. Yes, it's safe.
And tomorrow going to the Gulf, we are gonna pass by a little part of Tabasco.
We're one night again tonight.
Now,
Just
attention.
one night, yeah.
Well, in Tabasco we don't sleep.
One night tonight.
Yeah, and one night.
Palenque Mission Hotel. We spent one night here and we are going to see the ruins of Palenque today.
Most of them are covered by the nature. If you take a look behind us, that is another construction, but the trees and the grass has recuperated their space. Hello, let's have a seat over there, and then I will speak with him there.
With the site. Yeah. What it was. Thank you very much.
More of Palenque.
No. Yeah, knowing where people are.
This is December.
December.
That's December.
Es febrero, pero lo que pasa en Nueva Barca le dieron del 7 al 26.
They gave her. She changed to you, don't worry.
Y hay un latón.
Oh, bless it. February is that?
Ah, sí, sí. So 18,
Is that
6
this one?
February. Yes, it is.
Okay.
Always they give them a connotation of happiness. That is not true. It's just what they represent to them of the month.
Give me wrong one before. I'm helping me. What do you give me December?
10. 10.
There you are, Hafiz.
Instead of penning,
Just climb all these steps.
and off.
And just take a shot. Oh, you got all that.
Slowly.
Agua de coco.
Because I like the little ones.
These men with long white dresses are the original Mayans, but they are Protestants.
Yeah.
They are not Catholics as the rest of them.
No, but
We have gone through Chiapas and crossed into Tabasco. On our way to Campeche, we had lunch in this wayside restaurant. Tacos with cheese.